All right, Sean, I have a question for you. This is a UK question from a podcast. I heard this and I need to know if it's true. So, if I say in the UK, I'm going to go buy pants, what does that mean?
The stuff you wear between your skin and the trousers that you're wearing.
Gosh, yeah, that's news to me. I had no idea. That's what he said too. He's like, that's underpants. See, I learned something new. Now I know if I go to the UK, don't be like, I'm looking for pants. I'm like, not going to get what I think I'm going to get.
Here's some briefs, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
Or drawers. What do you guys call them? Drawers, briefs, underwear?
Underpants, underwear.
Boxes.
Yeah. If you're a girl, they can be called panties. So
I like to wear the tidy whities.
Yeah, tidy white briefs, boxers. I mean, those are like certain types of underwear, but yeah, all those things is what we call.
And you're welcome to wear any you like. You can wear panties if you want. Anyway,
yeah, but pants are like what do you call pants? The things you wear over your pants.
It depends which ones. Depends what. If they're denim, they're jeans.
Okay.
If if they're like the cotton material and they're like joggers. If they're that horrible like static inducing polyester blend stuff, they're tracksuit bottoms or shell suit bottoms.
Okay.
Yeah, we like lots of different names where you just say pants.
Yeah, I mean we have jeans. Joggers, track pants, athletic wear. I don't know. All those things are like those the what they call those things.
The only reason why I buy joggers or anything like that is to lounge around in the house in them. There is no athleticism in a pair of trousers for me.
No, I'm thinking of the polyester type. I don't know, the stretchy type things.
Oh no, yeah.
The track, I don't know what you call that. Anyways,
yeah.
Also, I'm out of my depths because I am by far, like, I am the least amount of clothing person in the entire world. Like, I can wear, you could give me 3 shirts and I'm happy. In fact, I think I might have been wearing this shirt in the last podcast. So, I don't really care. I mean, that's golden.
I have a few jumpers that I have in rotation. This one's like one of them. I have my green one. I have another black one. I have this, but not a hoodie. So yeah, I don't have much. Mm-hmm. And most of my stuff seems to be. I wear a lot of gym wear because I kind of get up on a morning, put the gym stuff on, kids to school, go to the gym, come home, do stuff around the house. Apart from today, where I just came home and got into bed,
nice.
Didn't sleep. I was very tired, so I thought, I'm just going to lay down, and if I sleep, I sleep. If I don't, I don't. It's fine. Like, the only time I don't wear them is if I know we're going somewhere for some reason where gym wear is not appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Especially gym wear that swears. So
that's true. You do have a lot of sweary gym wear. That's true.
I did get a really good comment on the one that I'm wearing now because it says to cut out D heads, not cabs. And,
okay, that's one of them.
There was a cashier behind the till. She was like, "I really like that jumper. Where did you get it from?" I was like, I bought it offline from this company here, Samsung Athletic. And she was like, "I need that. I completely agree with it. I think it's brilliant." I was like, "Okay,
that's cool. That's cool." So, I like the one I sent you, where it was it's a QR code, and if you scan the QR code, it basically says to off. I think that's so great. I would just love it. You're not saying anything bad. You're like, hey, listen, if you're going to take the time to scan my QR code, I guess you're going to hear the full message. It's just the best. I just really like it. I have never thought about doing it, but now I kind of want to.
We have a picture downstairs, which Lindsay bought 2 prints. And they haven't been put up yet because they were going to be put up in the bathroom. But one of them's just like an A3 print. And it's plain white apart from the bottom right-hand corner, right? Where it just says, "Oh, you're a Nosy Parker, aren't you?" But it doesn't actually say Nosy Parker. It says Nosy something else.
Yeah. I love it.
It's brilliant.
I always thought if I could make my own QR code shirt, I would have like if you scan it, it would just come up to be like the backside of like a hairy monkey or something, and be like, "Listen, you want to know what's behind? You want to know what's under here? There you go. That's what it is."
I'd like one that just takes you to like the peanut butter jelly time song on repeat. But I like the ones where people have done it where they take it into take it to Rick Astley. Never gonna give you up.
Oh, nice.
Rickrolling people.
Well, that's our close conversation. I was like, oh, I wonder if I'll have to ask Sean about that. That was on Game Scoop, by the way, to shout him out. That's so yeah. Here, IGN over here. Well, there you go. What else have you been up to, Sean? Or what have you been up to? You haven't said anything.
Oh wow, what did we do? Saturday was the last time we spoke, wasn't it?
It was.
And we're now on Thursday. So I hope everybody enjoyed the Dead Life episode yesterday. Well, that was quite a good episode.
Mm-hmm. Hope you all enjoyed the turd story.
Yeah,
that's what.
Sorry, I
that's
literally
what you
spoke
should have enjoyed is the turd story. Right there.
That was Mondays.
Yeah.
I haven't got enough one of those, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not much. I've been on a learning curve owning an electric vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Number one, I knew it was quick, but oh my god, quick is just unreal.
Has Sean got a citation yet? Quick?
No. I did outrun a Ferrari F30.
Wow.
An F430. Yeah, I'm on bad week. I've had to book the first 2 hours off of everyday shifts. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had the first 2 hours off every week because my dad's getting a hip replacement. So if you're listening to this when we release it, this will be on the Monday. My dad's getting a hip replacement Tuesday. So I have to take him to the hospital. He's in a lot of pain, which is why he needs it. So I've kind of didn't want to put on my mum. So I was like, I've got some spare hours. I'll book the first 2 hours off every day. I'll take Logan to school, then shoot through to work. And on Tuesday, while I was on the way, I was like following this car, and it was bright red Ferrari F430, and his license plate was F430 red. And I thought to myself, "You absolute like, what was that guy called from the other episode? I can't remember. You said it, and it was.
I don't remember. But I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, I was like, "You pompous, Mister You, I'm going to chase you down." It wasn't pompous, but I was like, if you have a bright red Ferrari and you have a license plate that says F430 red, you deserve to like eat some humble pie. So as I pulled onto the bypass near me, which takes me between like the road that leads to one area and the road that leads to work. It's like a mile and a quarter, a mile and a half straight over a canal. So there's like a slight bridge. And there's a tractor, and I was like, "Oh, this is ace." So he indicates to go around this tractor, and I was like, "I'm going to indicate first, and I'm going to absolutely get to you." So I pulled out, put my foot down in sports mode, and I mean, I can't get over how quick that car is. It just flew past him, and I think he realized what was going on, and all I heard was the roar and brimstone of the V10 behind me, and he couldn't keep up. He couldn't catch me.
That's awesome.
So like this guy's got. Well, they're an expensive car, and he's just been done by a tiny little MG electric car. So I've had some fun with that.
Cool.
Yeah, but the learning curve with the EV is I plugged it in for the first time to charge it on Tuesday night after, speeding away from the Ferrari. I kind of used quite a lot of battery.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
But I hadn't. When it got delivered on Friday, it had like almost a full charge, so it lasted me, until Tuesday. And I've not been I haven't been driving eco mode. I've been playing it. I've been like taking people out, aimless trips just to show like people and things like that. As you do, a boy with a toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I put it on charge, and I was like, "Cool, right? It's got 22%, and I want to charge it to 80%. So, it needs 58% adding to it, because the app that I use with the charger only does it doesn't look at the battery level of the car. It just asks you how much you want to top it up by, and it knows the power rating of the car and has all that information pre-built into it. I was like, brilliant. At 58%, my new tariff started, so it's 7p a kilowatt on an evening, which is so cheap. It's like, so it'll cost me £2.50 to charge it. This is brilliant. I get like 200 miles for £2.50, which is, pence per mile is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck it on charge, got in the car Wednesday morning, unplugged it, called all the cable, go back in the car Wednesday morning, and it was only at 40%. So it added 18%, which had cost me 80p, which isn't too bad. But I was like, it's a good job I don't have to travel far, because 40% is roughly about 90 miles.
Yeah.
So I got to work. I rang Octopus, which is the company that provides my electricity. And I was like, can you explain to me why this might have happened? Is it something you've done? Because I know they will halt charging if it goes above your price cap in your off-peak hour for whatever reason. I also know that they'll stop charging and discharge the car and charge it again to balance the grid and so on and so on. And they're like, no, if you've put that you want this percentage, we will endeavor to get that, and we wouldn't stop it. We'd always make sure the car is ready, because you can set I want the car ready for this time in the app as well. So it'll always make sure it's where you want it to be at that time. I was like, fair enough. Thanks very much for your time. So I rang Omi, the charging company, and they were like, no, we've done a diagnostics from here. We can do that. We can ping it because it just connects to the Wi-Fi. And we can't see an event history with any errors. We can see when you plug the car in, we can see how much charge the car took, and we can see what time the car stopped charging. I was like, oh, right, okay. And they said, well, it stopped charging very early. They were like, it stopped charging at 1 a.m. and you wanted the car to be ready for it. What time did I want it ready for? So into the gym. Oh, you wanted it ready for 5 a.m. And I was like, all right, yeah, okay, that's exactly what I did. And they're like, well, there's only one reason why we think it can have been, two reasons why we think it could have stopped is you lost connection to the internet, and that might have, it won't have picked up any errors. It'll have just not known where it was in the charging schedule and stopped and paused. I was like, right, okay, that's possible because it's at the front of the house. The Wi-Fi router is a good 20 feet away from it, so it's possible. And the other thing they said is it could be that there's a limiting factor with the car. Some cars come with a pre-programmed charging limit for the battery life. I was like, oh, okay. They said, oh, well, that's usually around 80%. But if the car's been sat for a while and it's just been on charge in like a warehouse or in the dealership sort of thing to kind of cycle the battery and keep it warm, they might have set it to a lower level so it's not costing them as much money. I was like, brilliant. So I went on the app for my car. I have an app for Octopus, I have an app for the charging, and I have an app for the car. And between all three of them, I can do lots of different things. So I went on there, I went to the battery settings, and it'd been set to 40%. So the car would only ever charge itself to 40%, wouldn't ever allow it to go above that.
So you figured it out.
Boring story.
No.
Sorry. There you go.
What I learned is this is why my wife will never allow me to get an electrical vehicle. This is exactly why right here. Because you're just like, I got 3 different apps, and there's all these different settings, and there's all these things. She's going to be like, nope. Hard no. I'm out.
My Octopus app is like any other energy provider app. So I can submit meter readings. I can look at my daily usage. It becomes like a mobile smart meter. The Omi app is what I use to program the charging of the car. And the car app is basically there. So if I want to, if it like Wednesday when it was really, really warm in the UK all day, I looked on the app at what temperature the cabin was in the car. It was 32 degrees because it had been sat in the sun. I was like, I'm not getting in that. Turn the air conditioning on from the locker room, which is like a good 10-minute walk away from the car. And by the time I got to the car, the inside of the car was a crisp 20 degrees Celsius, which was lovely.
That's pretty. I mean, listen, it sounds amazing. I'm not going to lie. It sounds real good. I mean, to be able to know the temperature of the cabin, that's something right there. So, yeah, that's cool. But you still, even though you found the problem, you still got yourself a new router as well, huh? Or, I don't know, an additional whatever it is. What is it?
It's like a mesh extender.
Okay.
So which is pretty cool actually. It was really simple to set up. Plugged it in next to the router, paired it to the router, and then unplugged it and took it to like halfway between the router and the front of the house. Well, the devices. So the router's at the back of the house, the extender's at the front of the house. So now I can get Wi-Fi from the end of my back garden all the way to the front of my drive.
Nice. That's nice. I have a Amazon Eros, which works out pretty nice. It actually came with the internet. Over here, I find that it's just easier to take, even though they charge you like $5 a month to rent, air quotes, the router and the network adapter and all that stuff. It's easier because when the thing when you don't have internet and you have declined their equipment, the first thing is they're like, well, it's probably your equipment. I don't know, but we're not going to check your equipment, so it's probably your equipment. So it's like it's not worth the headache, to be like, listen, I've checked my equipment, it's not that. It's got to be your stuff. Now I'm just like, listen, it's all yours. So screw you, get over here and fix it. So that's kind of where I that's where I just drew the line. I was like, this is not worth it for me. So
I'm the same. So I have the standard router that Kcom, the company that provides mine. It just, with both cars, with Lindsay's car and my car, both now having the capability of connecting to Wi-Fi for updates and map updates and stuff like that, I thought they'll do it automatically, sat at the front of the house if there needs to do one. It will just pick it up as we turn the car on and do it there and then. So, apart from what Lindsay's once connected through my phone to a McDonald's Wi-Fi network as we were in the drive-through, and it started doing an automatic update as we were sat in the drive-through, but it turned the car off while it was doing it, and we were sat there for about 10 minutes with this queue of cars behind us because we were creeping around the outside of the McDonald's to get to the ordering window, and the car just wouldn't move. And people honking the horn, and one guy come up to me and was like, "What are you doing, man? Why aren't you moving?" I'm like, the car has just stopped. It's doing an update. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm really, really sorry.
You really think at that point it would be like, hey, do you want to do this? Like it would give you
Yeah.
some amount of option. And it's just like, nope, now's the time, buddy. Suck it up.
Yeah. It was like parking brake is on. Update in 5, 4, 3, 2. And like before I realized what it was like saying on the screen, it just turned itself off. And I was like, huh? Lindsay looked at me. She's like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I did nothing."
Could you imagine if you
nothing.
were like, well, you don't have a pickup line. You've said that, but like the worst place I can imagine that would ever happen would be like the pickup line. You're just like sitting there, you're like, sorry guys, you're gonna have to go around me, figure out something I'm gonna do because I'm stuck here. So
well, because it doesn't, because like they've got electric handbrakes now. This is one of the things I don't like about a modern car. My Scirocco, my not so modern car, like it was a manual handbrake. So even if the car for whatever reason stalled and turned itself off and you couldn't do anything with it, you could at least take the handbrake off and push the car.
Mm-hmm.
This couldn't. It's an electric. It's an e-brake, like an electric e-brake. So you have to like press a button for it to release, but it wouldn't register me pressing the button because the car had no power. It turned itself off.
That was the other thing I wanted to ask. So are you saying, I mean, I know usually like your internet's tied to your like power, but let's say you just have an internet outage. You still have power. Would you not be able to charge your vehicle at that point? Like,
I can. You can. There's some buttons on the front of the charger where I can access like the menus and stuff and do it.
Okay.
So I can do it that way, or I can plug it in, get in the car, and tell the car to start charging. So there is ways around it. So because I asked that question as well when I went and had a look at the showroom.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a lot though, man. Like I mean, even when I'm thinking about it, and I mean, it's kind of exciting. Like I love new things. Like that would be really exciting to like have to learn all that at some level. But I can understand why like some people are like, nah, I'm out. Just let me put the gas. Let me just put the gas nozzle in there, and I'm good to go. Like this is just too ridiculous. So
the issue in the UK, and I don't know if this is the same in America, is they want to get rid of fossil fuel cars by it was originally 2030. It's been pushed back to 2032. So they're kind of forcing people's hands to go this route for the environment. So
right now it's not that way. It was 6 months ago, but not anymore.
Oh, what swung that then? Oh, the change in leadership.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's the way it was. We were all slated to be like, well, I guess we're doing this, and like I think it was 2040 or something like that was what the previous administration had said. But now that's out the window. They're like, screw it, we don't need any of that stuff. So
Yeah, and your current administration just wants to buy everywhere
yeah, and so
and own everything.
in 4 years it'll be completely different. They'll probably
Yeah.
want all the gas cars gone in 6 months. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter over here. Nobody knows what's going on. There's no real consistency whatsoever. So, we'll see. I actually would really like one. But for me, it's not going to happen for a while because it doesn't make sense to make that vehicle the van vehicle. We always have like a larger van vehicle and then we have a smaller vehicle. So we just bought the Kona. So it's probably going to be at least 8 years before we get rid of the Kona. And then at that point, that will probably become an electrical vehicle. I kind of pushed for it this time and I got a big nah. But in 8 years, I'm gonna really be like, unless things really change, I'm gonna be like, come on, we need to do this. So
Yeah, my hand was forced with it. If the Scirocco hadn't have had the issue that it had, that I had to take it off the road. In fact, I got a message from my mechanic friend today, and I was like, "When are you going to come collect this green machine? It's currently being overtaken by nature." And I was like, "I'll come and get it." So, yeah, but if it hadn't become financially not viable to repair that car, I'd have not gone down this route. I'd have kept the green machine, and that's what I'd still be going around in. But it's forced my hand, and I took the opportunity. I've never owned. I've never personally owned a brand new vehicle. Like the one that we got for Lindsay, that's her vehicle. Like we got that for her, so it's not mine. I had the green machine, so I've never had a brand new like that year. It's this year's registration. It's got a 25 plate, so I've never ever owned one, and I've never owned a car as quick as this. So it's quite nice. It's a luxury I've never ever had before.
Sure,
so.
yeah. No, that's got to be like one of the largest upgrades I've ever seen. From like the green machine to that thing. I mean, that's like,
yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, we've gone from a 2-liter diesel with 170 brake horsepower to a 4-wheel drive electric vehicle at 460 brake horsepower.
Yeah, not even to consider like all the other like technological like advancements inside the thing. Like you were never telling me, well, I have to connect the green machine to the internet so that I can, hopefully upgrade it.
I wouldn't dare to connect it to the internet. It'd probably try and destroy itself. The thing was just... was... The thing is, the green car, is the one that I've always wanted to own one. When they released them 2015, I think they came, or 2014. I think they did a 4-year run because they stopped making them in 2018. And I've always wanted one. Because prior to the green machine, I had a black Seat Leon. And I had that for 15 years. I owned that car for 15 years. So, yeah. And I'd always kind of looked at these as I passed them or as they passed me, and I'm like, I really want one of those. So,
that's cool.
But now I've had one, and I'm glad I'll be seeing the back of it because they are fraught with errors.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's enough talking about cars and this, that, and the other. What have you been up to since we last spoke? Because I have spoken now for pretty much the entire podcast.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's been I've enjoyed it. It's been good. Let's see I had a thing and then I just kind of lost it all. All the trees are cleaned up. That's good in my grandma's yard. So we're happy about that. I too have moved from a gas to an electric. It just so happens that mine is not as cool as yours. I bought an electric mower this week, so I'm excited about that. I bought it on Amazon, so it's not in yet, but so I have been eyeing it for a very long time, and I finally was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it. So So I got that, which actually will be nice because it never fails. I mean, this only happens like 3 times a summer, so it's not like it's going to save me that much time. But it never fails that in 3 times a summer, I will go to mow the grass and then remember that I don't have any gas and I have to go to the gas station to get gas because I'm like, oh, I'll do that. I'll do that sometime in the next week before I cut grass again. And then I'm like, oh, well, I never did that.
So I'm going to start taking bets now. I wonder how long it is until you come on the podcast and say, "Hey, I was mowing the lawn and I cut through the cable."
Oh no, this is battery. This is all battery.
Get out! No.
Yes. Yeah. So I bought this is a Works brand. It's like a popular brand over here. I don't know if it's over there. And it works out well for me because it runs off of two 20-volt batteries. It comes with two. It lasts 45 minutes, and I have 3 for just random items that I have bought for myself. Like I got this little mini chainsaw and a drill and I don't know, a couple of things. And so yeah, and I've liked everything I've bought from the brand, so I'm hoping I'll like this too. But it does have a 30-day return policy just in case I absolutely hate it. Because some people had a real mixed view. I mean, overall it had a good rating. It was like 4.5 out of 5 stars. But like you would listen to the people talking, they'd be like, the battery only lasted for 10 minutes, and then like, but that was like, I don't know, a handful out of like 1,000 reviews, so I don't know if they were just doing something wrong or they didn't understand it or what, or it just didn't work for their yard. I'm not sure. But I was like, well, we'll just buy it. And then if we don't like it, we'll return it, even though that'll be a real pain. So,
yeah.
So about that, went to a graduation, which was fun. This was an 8th grade graduation. So it was fun to see. Yeah. So, oh gosh, it's hard. Is it right before what you guys would call college? Because we call it high school.
How old is this individual?
Okay, let's see. Noah is. I gotta think. I gotta extrapolate. 11, 12, 13, 14. 14.
Just talk. Oh, 14. Okay, yeah. So that would be,
or at least
just going into high school.
Yeah. High school for us, isn't it? College for you? Isn't that what you call it?
Not at 14. That's 16.
Oh, okay. That's right. You only have 2 years of high school. Man, we have the same conversation each time.
No, we don't. We have 5 years of high school.
What? I'm so confused. I had it all. One of these, I was just trying to find the ChatGPT thing that I had break this out for me so that I could help myself remember. But now it's lost
high
somewhere.
school's like 13 to 16.
13 to 16. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I thought I understood it, and now I don't understand it anymore. I'll have to. I had it like break it all out for me, and it was great. I was like, oh, I get it now. And then I forgot it all, apparently. So I had to go through also. Yeah. Speaking of like doing things for technological, so we got this brand new Amazon Fire TV. It's great, except it's been a real pain trying to like block all the accounts in the right way. And I mean, our kids are pretty good, but they're getting older and they're going to start wondering about things. And that's not really how I want them to find out about things. I mean, obviously we have those conversations, but it was like, okay, well, let's be responsible parents and like at least pin the right things. That took like an hour. And I mean, to be fair, it was a little bit about the fact that we had, one, it took some time to figure out how it worked on the Amazon TV in conjunction with how it works with all your other separate accounts that are like loaded on the TV, right? And then it's like, oh, it was a bit of a pain, but now I think I have it all figured out.
He says smiling and going, I'm not entirely sure that tone was a
No, I'm laughing as I'm trying to find the like breakdown of the grades. Oh, I found it. But first up, the first thing that came up was Udders versus breasts explained. These are the questions that I asked ChatGPT, people. I think we were having that conversation. I was having it with somebody, and I wanted to know.
Udders versus breasts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it was us. Maybe it wasn't us.
There's definitely not us. I know the difference between an udder and a breast.
Why don't women have udders? There you go. What's the difference?
I don't know.
You see? It's really just about how they face. That was all ChatGPT was like. It was just, they face front or they face down. That was really about it.
Udder for under.
Yeah, there you go. So, so that was funny. You were like, I know the difference. And then you're like, I don't.
Every day's a school day, kids.
That's right. You're like, I know the difference. And you're like, I don't maybe know why that's different. So there was no real, I was thinking there'd be like a real scientific, like biological reason. Now I really want to know. I was having this conversation with somebody. Now I wonder who I was having this conversation with. And it wasn't just ChatGPT, so don't even.
Nick just sits there with his feet up and be like, what's the difference between?
I need a friend. And his name is Chat. His last name is GPT. Anyways.
I like I said, I now pay for the premium, the plus of Chat. I use it that much for anything. It's like even I've pulled the app on my phone to the very front of my home screens. So it's right there underneath the Formula One app. So.
I love it. I love it. You're like, listen, I know my priorities. Anyway, so that's pretty much been what I've been. Oh, I found it. Okay, so 9th grade for you. It's just year 9. That's all it is.
Yeah. Okay. But we wouldn't celebrate
that. Conversation for that.
We wouldn't celebrate year 9. It doesn't really do any. They haven't have done anything. They haven't graduated from anything. It's just go into year 10. Now it gets really hard because you've got your GCSEs to do.
Yeah, so
pick your subjects and it gets more increasingly difficult.
For us, it's just basically you're going from 8th grade to 9th grade. You're graduating out of middle school and going to high school. So, and
okay.
For this particular school, it's a bit different. So there is an Amish population in the school that is kind of their graduation. They don't go on to high school. So it's a religious belief thing. They go on to tend the fields or become carpenters or whatever they do.
That's pretty. That links quite well to what our dad told me for this week, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. It will. So there's a little bit of both. I don't know if like every school has an 8th grade graduation, but I think part of it is because of that. That is.
Oh, that's very cool. That it's very inclusive. Then it's everybody can get together and I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, anyway, so I did that and that was fun. And it's also a little bit more fun because it was it was where I graduated from 8th grade at. It's where I went to school from 2nd to 8th grade. So,
I'm going to ask the question of: is there any teachers there that were still there when you was there?
There are 2. Ariel's
nice.
Ariel's 2nd grade teacher last year was my 2nd grade teacher, like 1,000 years ago. Yeah, she had been there for 3. She'd only been there 2 years. I think she said this year she will graduate. It only took her 30 years. No, she'll retire. I think she said this year. That's what she is talking about, at least. And then the 7th grade teacher, if he stays around 2 more years, next year and the one after, then he'll have Noah as well, which he has already stated and is not wrong. That Noah reminds him a whole lot of me, except he listens a lot better, and that is true. That's very, very true.
Logan goes to he's currently at the same primary school that I was at as a kid. There's no teachers there that was there when I was there, but there was a teacher's aide that when I was there, she was the receptionist and nurse. And I can remember when we took Logan on the first day for him to like kind of walk around the classrooms, and you do that like setting to kind of get them familiar with things. And he walked in first, followed by Lindsay. And I was talking to somebody I went to school with outside. I was talking to them because their daughter was also starting to attend in the same year, but in reception. And then I walked in, and like she looked at Logan. She looked at me, and she goes, "Yep, don't need a DNA test to prove that's one. That's an Abbott." I was like, "Hi, Mrs. Petridge."
I love it. Noah has already complained that that Mr. K and Mrs. Walls, who was the secretary, who was not in the school when I was there, but she actually was the mom of like one of my best friends that I went to school with there, or one of my good friends, I'd say. And so he already complains that too many people call him Nick. So
Oh dear. Oh dear,
so,
oh dear.
yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what to tell you about that. Yeah. But that's my week pretty much. We're already at 35 minutes, man. I mean,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, I haven't done much else. It's been a bad week, which means I'm barely at home and barely have time to do anything. I've played a hell of a lot of Doom. So much Doom.
I love those two things put together. It's my bad week. I haven't had time to do anything except play Doom.
Well, I've been get home at 7, put the kids to bed, and then it's like I need to wind down.
Yeah.
And Lindsay's usually in bed by 8 p.m. because she's tired.
Mm-hmm.
So the beanbag comes out and I play Doom. But
I like it.
yeah, it's getting increasingly more difficult. There's lots of me dying now. At first, I wasn't dying at all. I thought, oh, this is ace. I'm now at the point where I'm getting frustrated with it, but I will not reduce the difficulty level. So,
what is are you playing just at like the recommended, or did you up it? You upped it? How high?
Yeah. Just one. I think I've gone to the ultra violent.
Okay. All right.
So, and then I think it goes to nightmare after that. But it's just, they do 200% more damage than normal.
At nightmare? Or at the one you're at now?
No, at the one I'm at now.
Oh my gosh. What do they do at nightmare? You don't have a chance.
I don't know.
You're like, I don't want to.
I don't think. Yeah. No, I don't want to know. I never did 2016 Doom at that, and I played that game a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I did get some more Tears of the Kingdom in, and for any of those who really care, because I've been keeping this countdown going, and I'll probably keep it going until we get it. We are 2 weeks away, my friends. 2 weeks away from Switch 2.
2 weeks.
And I am pumped.
Logan keeps asking if we're going to get one for free. I was like, that was a one in a million chance that we got the OLED for free. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen. Nintendo does hit me up if you get one, but no, I've told him we're buying one, but he still keeps. Oh, it'd be so cool if we got another one for free, because then I could have one.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking. I knew what he was thinking. Like,
yeah,
then I get my own.
He was like, because if I want to play the new Mario Kart game, I have to play it in the living room on the TV. I was like, you can still pick it up and play it.
Don't you know how this works?
Still does the same thing. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is, we've gone along on the 2 for this one, which I don't mind. I like sitting and chatting with you every day. It's fun. But this week's Wednesday episode, the Dad Life episode for this week, 29.2, is all about experiential learning. So learning by doing, which is why when I mentioned when you mentioned about the Amish that don't go into high school, they go off to go and learn like carpentry skills and stuff like that, tend the fields. That's that kind of learning. So learn by doing, kind of thing. So we're going to talk about that for our Wednesday episode. Thanks very much for listening. And I hope you enjoy from Monday to the midweek.
Adios, guys.